All right, we are live. What's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. Today is the 19th of January, 2017. I do want to apologize for not streaming yesterday. I was all set to go when YouTube streaming started really messing up. Nothing was working. Couldn't do it, which is unfortunate. And there, I'm catching playback from somewhere. Where am I catching playback from? Hold on a second here. Where am I getting that from at? Should be off now. Okay. Maybe? Let's see.
Hold on a second here.
Nope, it's still where the hell is playback coming from? Oh, nope, I know where it's coming from.
Where am I getting that from at?
I know where it's coming from. Okay.
Should be.
Mute that. There we go. Okay, cool beans. Cool beans. All right, it was from a thing. It was from a board I had up. I had no idea. All right, what's up, everyone? How you guys doing? You heard I killed Kenny? I'm not too sure. Yeah, the ARG for Cloverfield 3 has begun. I'm going to talk a bit about that. Also, just want to get the there we go, headphones in there. I want to double check one last thing here. Properties. Okay, let me just quickly test one thing real quick. Make sure. Maybe. Okay, cool. Because what I thought about doing is because I do get asked occasionally to do trailer reactions, right? To do trailer reactions. And I don't really do them because I just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it's more, I don't know, not really a huge thing of mine. However, there were a couple trailers that dropped and we could watch them together. That would be the Super Troopers 2 and the Tomb Raider trailer. And we could do that live. That could be fun. So there's that. How do I think The Last Jedi would have ended if it had been directed and written by Zack Snyder? I think Leia would have killed everybody, is what I think would have happened. And Luke probably would have had sex with Rey or something along those lines. It's probably what would have happened. So here's the other thing, too. Just a real quick notice. The stream from 2 days ago, the 16th or the 17th, never saved to YouTube. There was a huge glitch on the platform that day. Not only did it not save the stream or archive the stream anywhere on my channel, it's been acting up, right? And so as a result of that, that's why all of the video clips from that segment were put out over the course of the past 2 days. And that's fine with me. People seem to like that and everything else too. So it works out. So there's technical issues that have been happening, but I'm trying to work around them. That being said, but yeah, I was so disappointed I couldn't do this yesterday. I was like, oh, I was all jazzed, ready to talk about stuff. And, I really enjoy doing the streams and I really enjoy you guys hanging out with me. So glitch. No, it really was glitching out. Like nothing was there. It was really, really odd. The back of the classroom. Yeah, I was super caught up in the viral marketing of Cloverfield as well. One of the reasons why it's the thumbnail for today. Tolk-Holsting is not 1801-18. Okay, I'm in America. I'm in America. All right, so it's not that. Oh wait, Michael McLeod, the Leia flying in space Superman theme. Have you not seen that clip, dude? That was out. That was out the day after, man. That was out the day after the movie came out. Like as soon as a bootleg copy hit, that little clip was out there. I think I even have it saved still. Thoughts on Nintendo Labo? I haven't even looked into it. I know it's cardboard, something cardboard related. I saw some memes, somebody making like a cardboard dildo with the Joy-Con sliding in the back as a vibration function. I don't know, man. So thoughts on Sonic Forces? My brother likes it. I'm not a Sonic fan. Sorry. However, we should probably try to keep stuff movie related here. Or you know what? Fuck it. It's I'm do a few more minutes of waiting for people to jump on in. Once we hit about 10 minutes, we'll jump into the stories. I got a lot to go through today. I got a fair amount to go through. We'll see about any of the trailer stuff at the end. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to rush through because I didn't do yesterday, so I got to play catch up. So, hold on. What about the defeminized cut ends with an internet troll face placed on the Lukes? I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I want to see the defeminized cut. I need to check it out and make sure that it's up to snuff. Let me also scoot my chair over so I'm more centered. Oh yeah, but the other day my background came in. I don't know if you guys have seen the background yet. Got the new background in, and I am super close. It feels like. We're just gonna. There we go. Give me a little bit more headroom. I love that I can do this live. I'm just going to adjust myself on the screen. But yeah, the backdrop looks great. This is recording in 1080p, outputting 1080p. I think it's pretty phenomenal. What's the part of the you hated the most about The Last Jedi? Most people are going to say the Superman scene. That bothered me, but not as much as I think the entirety of the Canto Bight scene. Because it was so ultimately pointless. It was such a distraction from an already overlong movie. You could have cut out that entire segment and it would have just been a lot better. I watched Snuff. I can't say that I've never watched a Snuff film. I've been around on the internet long enough and I've seen people die. So there's that. So, the part you hated the most of The Last Jedi is The Last Jedi. I get that. I do understand that. For me, it was Canto Bight. Really bothered me. I am seeing the movie again next week. My girlfriend really wants to go see it. I did see that there is a decent quality cam that's popped up, made its way around. Not advocating for movie piracy or nothing like this, but it's floating around from what I can tell. You see it pop up in different forums. So who still thinks that Snoke is alive? I actually do think Snoke is alive. I do. I think Snoke is Darth Plagueis. I think at this point, in order to kind of bring it home with the trilogy, to kind of maybe end Lucas's vision, so to speak, I think J.J. Abrams is going to bring us Plagueis. I think that's going to happen. So I haven't seen Film Theory's video about what killed Star Wars. Lieutenant Dan, if you could send that over to me, it'd be great. We're not getting the Snyder cut, but we are getting extra scenes. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Yeah. You know what? The show's already overloaded as it is, so I'm not going to worry about that. Oh shit. I totally forgot to send this out. I'm an idiot. I totally forgot to tweet out the link. I don't know. Cause like I said, everything's been acting up lately, so I have no idea what's been working. All right. Let's see. Is it... Nope. Okay, so yeah, it hasn't gone out yet at all. All right. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Stupid. Damn it. Okay, let me find it. I gotta find it again. Sorry. I just got to tweet it out. I keep forgetting. I keep thinking it automatically posts. It doesn't automatically post, which is just unfortunate. Okay. All right. And put that out on the different Facebook groups and to the Twitters. All right, and I'll put it out to my personal Facebook too. See if people want to come in. Okay. There we go. I feel bad about that. Okay. Oh, is it is it popping up on the thing? All right, yeah. I'll hide cursor. I have cursor hidden. No, I have cursor hidden, yeah. Oh, shit. All right, hold on. There we go. Okay, I'm all over the place today for everything. At least we're in. Okay, so 10 minutes. We're 10 minutes in. Let's get the show going here. I always laugh. I always chuckle. Let me make sure I'm up. Okay. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and today is the 19th of January, 2019. As you can see from the thumbnail here on the screen, Cloverfield. You're probably asking yourself, what the hell is Cloverfield? Well, yesterday there was a big YouTube glitch. I wasn't able to stream, but I did want to talk about it. Yesterday was the 10th anniversary of Cloverfield. Now, the movie is a very divisive film amongst many people. For me personally, it's one of my all-time favorites. This is a movie that when I first saw the teaser for it in front of Michael Bay's Transformers, I was hooked. You know, I was completely hooked as to what this thing was. Point of view found footage movies are quite literally my favorite genre. The two feature films I've made myself have both been point of view found footage, and I'm definitely in the realm of just absolutely loving that particular style of filmmaking. Quite frankly, it's the only kind of movies I want to make. And a lot of it has to do with my love of Blair Witch Project as well as my love of Cloverfield. Now, the movie itself, again, has been divisive. It's one that I saw 6 times opening weekend. Not kidding you. Twice in theaters where I paid for not only me, but somebody else. And then I worked at a drive-in movie theater at the time, and we were showing the movie, so I watched it 2 more times the weekend, or 4 more times that weekend. So I saw it a lot opening weekend. I went back and saw the movie a 3rd time. I took my mom to go see it. That's how much I loved this movie. And I took my mom to go see it. And I bought it on, DVD when it came out. A few months later, I owned the Blu-ray. I think I own like 2 copies of it on Blu-ray at this point. Cloverfield is my jam. And I've always wanted them to continue the story. 10 Cloverfield Lane was good, albeit it tied into the overall mythos of Cloverfield in a very small fashion. Obviously, it was done after the fact of production, and they wanted to find a way to make Cloverfield now more of a Twilight Zone-esque type of series. But when it came to the ARG that surrounded this movie that was coming out for Cloverfield, that was insane. And I still, as much as I feel like I've gotten to the bottom of it, I don't think that I have, and I always feel like there's more out there to the story, and I'm not the only one, which takes me to the first story today. Cloverfield's viral marketing game just released the first God particle clues. Now, it makes sense that it happened on the 10th anniversary of the franchise having come out. If that's what you want to call it. I'm not too sure if calling it a franchise is really the best course of action, but that's ultimately what it is. Now, it says here that the 3rd movie in the Cloverfield franchise is supposed to open last February, then last October, and then in 2 weeks, and now it's set to open April 20th. But what happened here is that fans on Reddit jumped over to tagurato.jp, the well-known website of the fictional Japanese oil drilling company that links the first 2 Clover movies together. Basically, in the first film, because they kind of give a little thing here for Easter eggs, the main character in the first film worked for Slusho. He was moving to Japan to work for Slusho. Slusho was a subsidiary of Tagurato, and that was kind of how they were connected. And then in 10 Cloverfield Lane, you see that John Goodman's character, I think, worked for them, because you see a quick insert shot of Tagurato and like on an envelope somewhere. Like that was what tied it together. It was very minimal in what brought Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane together, but at the same time, 10 Cloverfield Lane was just a well done movie, very creepy, very good. So it was good to see it connected, but ultimately it could have stood on its own, which I think it would have been fine on its own. Now, the website was previously down shortly after 10 Cloverfield Lane opened. It's now up and running with a mysterious page that's packed with clues. A faux error message appears on the screen, but if you look closely, you'll spot a garbled pixelated text on the screen that says browser incompatibility 415 unsupported media type. Now, if you lighten up the image, you get a bit of clues here on the side. According to this website, you see what appears to be right here, Clovey, on the right-hand side here, and then also the Tagurato logo up top, it looks like here. But first, I mean, this kind of looks, the outline of the face here looks very similar. When I first saw this, even in that first image, my thought immediately went to this image of Clovey, which is the scene where HUD gets it. But it says that's not all. Realizing that there was more text hidden in the pop-up, in the load pop-up, Redditor Movie Guy 225 came up with the idea of how to view the page source and discovered 3 images, one of which shows the full page without a pop-up. If you play the contrast and brightness, you can make what appears to be a memo from Tagurato. And then here's a screenshot. So you can see the logo appear, and it looks to be a bit of a memo. So you can barely make it out, but this is what they believe that it says. Tokyo, January 18th, 2018. Tagurato has begun development on a revolutionary new energy technology company scientists believe could not only compete with, but possibly replace experimentation with Tagurato's most patented and proprietary technology last year, resulted in what CEO Gano Yoshida called a technological giant leap forward for our planet. This renewable technology will take the next 6 years to complete, along with another 4 years of stress testing and research on integration power grids. Tagurato is working with international regulatory bodies to bring this revolutionary energy source to blank by April 2028. So in another 10 years from now. Now, what does that ultimately tell you? Like the idea there of the God particle being the working title of the movie, we don't even know if that's even going to end up being the last title. They could change it at this point. But if it's leading into an idea of what to expect out of this movie, I think it could be very interesting, especially if it ties in to Clovey being discovered. Now the question is ultimately, did Clovey come from space? Did Clovey come from underground? We don't ultimately know. It's been kind of surmised either way, because in the original ARG for Cloverfield, Tagurato had a drilling operation roughly 200 miles off the eastern seaboard that had apparently drilled and tapped into something, which is where they ultimately found the additive that went into Slusho to make it, I think, so addictive or whatever ingredients went into Slusho came out of that particular drilling, deep sea drilling. But then that's also been rumored that is where they woke Clovey from. Right now, the idea also is that Clovey is considered to be a baby. Now, if Clovey is a baby, how much bigger can she get, right? But at the end of the movie, when they're on Coney Island, you can see what appears to be an item falling out of the sky, like a meteor or something crashing out of the sky and falling into the water off the coast of Coney Island, which some have speculated to be the egg of Clovey, or some people have called it a crashed satellite, something along those lines. It's always been heavily speculated as to what it is, but we've still never fully figured out everything about it. And it's one that, as far as movie ARGs go, and as far as movie stories go and plots go, and just this ancillary stuff, I think they did a great job. The integration with MySpace into the main characters of Cloverfield was great. All the stuff in Slusho's website, all the little documents people found, it was very cool, very interesting, and I'm super excited to see what happens with this next. I don't know, but if JJ is still involved and still putting this out there, we could be in for a real good treat come April 20th. So I'm kind of curious what you guys think about this one. Cloverfield plus Godzilla movie would be cool. I think well, consider the fact that Cloverfield was kind of meant to be the American Godzilla. I see your point. So, hold on. People are not talking about StarCraft in the chat for some reason. I'm just looking to see if anyone's been saying here. 10 Cloverfield Lane was crowbarred into the universe. The back of the classroom, I agree that it was, but I think it worked out just fine. So there's that. Okay, so you guys are talking about StarCraft. All right, we'll jump on to the jump into the next story. I like to look to see what you guys are saying to answer any comments or questions, and I'm like, you guys prefer the Zerg or the Protoss? Okay. All right. So here's a new one. Movie theater attendance hits a 24-year low. Ticket prices rise nearly 4%. And this has not been an uncommon thing. Since 2005, ticket prices have been, or ticket purchases have been dwindling. Right? They hit that peak year 2004 maybe, and then after that it started going downhill. I'm trying to think, what came out in 2004? Spider-Man 2 came out 2004. Shrek 2 came out 2004. I don't really know, but ultimately it's been since 2005. And arguably, one could say that was kind of the big start of the massive comic book movie push, wasn't around 2005, is when we started seeing multiple movies per year. And that's interesting because now those are the top grossing films and the ones that people only seem to care about. But it says here that the National Alliance of Theater Owners, NATO, which I feel is a really horrible title, by the way, announced Wednesday that the national ticket average for 2017 rose 3.7% year over year up to $893, up from $865 last year. Now, at that average, the estimated number of movie tickets sold last year is 1.23 billion. Wow, that's low. Actually, you figured that'd be low. While that is only a rough estimate, it does not account for the higher ticket prices for premium formats and theaters in more expensive cities like New York and Los Angeles. NATO's estimate is the lowest since 1993, when Jurassic Park was a top grossing film of the year, and an estimated 1.24 billion tickets were sold. See, the thing is, okay, so you're looking at like 2017 had 1.23 billion. 1993 had 1.24 billion tickets sold. We've had a very large increase in general population since then, right? As I frequently mention on my main channel, between 1979 and 1999, you had the world population double from 3 billion to 6 billion. We're at 7 billion plus right now and estimated to reach 9 billion by 2050. Birth rates have started to decline in some cases. So this is one of those weird situations where I just find that to be odd, where the world population has heavily increased, but ticket sales for movies have not. And that's I think a clear indicator for just where Hollywood's going. 2017 highlighted once again the importance of a balanced 52-week movie calendar. NATO said in its analysis, a record Q1 in box office and admissions was offset by a disappointing summer, with a range of sequels that were not embraced by audiences in the numbers that we were accustomed to. In summer 2017, 92 million admissions short of 2016. An unusually empty August accounted for half of summer 2017 shortfall. A Q4 2017 was nearly equal to Q4 2016, with 315 million tickets sold compared to 319 million. Everything is down, right? And this is the thing. But look at this here, a balanced 52-week movie calendar. That, I believe, is the one thing that Hollywood should focus on the most. And the reason why I say this is predominantly based upon the fact that they overload the summer schedule. Now, I've worked in movie theaters, long time. I've worked in movie theaters a long time. Roughly, I want to say about 14 years of my life has been spent in working in movie theaters. Many of those years was as a manager. And I've seen, increases and decreases year after year, depending on what movies are out. But when it was around summer 2008, right, around June 2008 is when I started noticing that they were packing the theaters every week. 2 to 3 movies came out every single weekend during the summer of 2008. It made no damn sense. They were overloading it. And I worked at a drive-in. We had 2 screens. We played 4 movies. There were just movies we couldn't get because there was just too many options. And it is one of and I think we've seen this kind of play out a little bit with Netflix, right? Netflix will upload stuff, certain things. But if you're not looking for something specific, when you just want to, kind of browse through Netflix, you find yourself spending more time looking for the right thing to watch rather than just picking something. And I think that ultimately happens when it comes to movies. It's like, well, I only have so much money, so I need to do this. I mean, keep in mind, the economy was crap too in 2008, right? We're end of the Bush administration. I want to say that was right around the stimulus package that he had put out, but it wasn't enough. And I think people just got overloaded with options, and I think Hollywood has been trying to replicate that kind of stuff for years. Look at where things are right now, right? You've got, just in a couple months, Avengers Infinity War opens up first week of May. That's expected to do gangbusters, which means it's going to swallow the air out of everything around it for weeks. So Fox decides to move Deadpool 2 up 2 weeks in order to get out of the way of Solo, a Star Wars story, but therefore puts it within that encroachment range of Avengers Infinity War, which could, for all intents and purposes, absolutely swallow Deadpool 2 and swallow Solo, depending on how good the movie is. This is not just like the quintessential Marvel event. This is the quintessential movie-going event of the past 10 years, literally. And as a result of this, anything can happen. And so they're overloading that particular segment or that particular part in time. Deadpool would actually be better off by moving forward to mid-April than it would moving to mid-May. Absolutely, hands down. Or Solo should be pushed back to December to compete with Aquaman versus Marvel. This is the way things are right now. They need to do a solid 52-week release. Look at the successes of September movies over the course of the past couple years. That was almost unheard of, right? The Maze Runner came out September 2014, did surprisingly well for a freaking September release, right? You had It just come out this last September, do $300 million. Everyone was blown away that a September release did as well. Get Out and Split were both released in January of last year, so a year ago, and both of those did pretty damn well. We're seeing superhero movies that are usually pushed to May and that time of year come out in February this year. We got Black Panther. Logan came out in March of last year. Not only did Logan come out in March of last year, Beauty and the Beast, Power Rangers, Ghost in the Shell. March was a very stacked month, and so was April, so was May. I mean, you can see this stuff play out, but Hollywood still just crowds the summer season. We're beyond that now. And I think this is an absolute direct result of that, because they cannot seem to figure out that you can space it. And because they're so concerned with doing with the movie coming out in theaters and then being on home video like 3 months later, you know, like they're just, it's hard to watch play out from just kind of an outsider perspective, because you're like, this is so frustrating to see. Like, you know what works, but you never seem to go through with it. And then we get articles like this that say that movie theater attendance is a 24-year low. And you know they're going to sit there and blame Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or other streaming devices or home video, because that's their general go-to. When we know for a fact that people are willing to go see movies, but they want the movies to be worth their while. Hollywood continues to churn out garbage. Garbage that is ultimately all based on the same screenwriting formula. That would be Blake Snyder's Save the Cat. The beat sheet is a very good tool when you're first starting out. We're not getting many things that reach outside of that realm. Well, maybe a little bit, but for a while there, it wasn't. It was pretty bad. So ultimately, Hollywood has only itself to blame here, and I don't feel bad for them at all. I just want them to keep making cool new movies, and I think we're going to get that more through Netflix than we are through anything else. All right, what do you guys have to say about this? It's funny that audience attendance is going down while ticket prices and production budgets are going up. I completely agree, Shinyongo. I absolutely agree. The thing with that is there's a lot of problems with that. Budgets are going up because they know that the budgets are going up because they know they're going to be able to make the money off of merchandising. That's a lot of it. They especially with Disney. Disney is a master of merchandising, a master of all these things. And as a result of that, it makes it very interesting to watch play out. So most of the summer movies this year sucked. Dude, there's so many I didn't see. 2016 and 2017 were the fewest, the least amount of movies in theaters I saw. Was it 2016? I saw Captain America. I saw Ghostbusters because I had to. And that's like one other thing. And that was it. This last year, I saw Guardians. I saw Spider-Man. I saw Wonder Woman. I saw Baby Driver, which I really liked. I saw Dark Tower. I haven't even seen War for the Planet of the Apes yet. I own the damn Blu-ray, but I haven't seen it yet. So there's all that, you know. Peter Jackson's Mortal Engines looks cool. Looks cool. I need to see more on it though. Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. Here's why I had to go see Ghostbusters. I had to go see Ghostbusters because I talked so much trash about the movie that I felt I owed it to not only myself, but the audience to give it a fair shake, right? I talked enough crap about the movie. I'm like, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna see it. I'm hopefully gonna like it. I went in there hoping to like it. I legitimately did. I went in there going, please don't suck. Please don't suck. Please just have really horrible marketing. And no, the movie was bad. And even it was so bad that as we were walking out, my girlfriend looked at me and she said, can we get our money back? And my girlfriend's a huge Melissa McCarthy fan. So it's one of those things where ultimately it's harder to get to the theaters these days. I have a kid now, so it's very hard to do that. I've got to like figure out time to go see movies. and everything else, as well as do work and you know, is difficult. So I watch a lot of stuff on home video, and I don't like it because I love going to the theater. But yeah, I mean, you can see that there's all these elements at play. So let's jump over here to this one. Joseph Gordon-Levitt passionately defends Luke Skywalker in Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Now look, I rag on this movie a lot. Articles keep coming out. I kind of feel like I keep having to. However, this one's interesting because if you don't know, Joseph Gordon-Levitt has a cameo appearance in the movie. He's actually in the Canto Bight scene as the guy with like the one alien with a really out of place like Southern Kentucky accent. Like, they parked their space shuttle over there on the beach. I told them they can't do it on the beach. It made no sense why that particular accent was there, why that voice was used. It like, why? What? Everyone else is like speaking in their own language and whatnot. And this made no sense to me. I thought it took me out of the scene entirely. Like I said, I hate the Canto Bight scene. It's just the most pointless scene in any Star Wars movie ever. You know, even more so than meeting the Gungans for the first time. But that being said, you know, that was Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that particular costume, and you know, so he's now defending the movie that his buddy Rian Johnson made. And like, I get it. I do get it. All right. So as he says here, in a lengthy article, the actress says, "I want to be really clear. This is just my opinion, and in no way do I carry any special authority on the movie. I'm probably biased in its favor, but then again, we're all biased somehow, so there's that." And to that, I do give Joseph Gordon-Levitt some credit. He's coming into this from this is just my opinion perspective. I am clearly going to be biased about this movie, you know, but it's like he just say we're all biased. Well, I mean, I think I would argue a little bit. He's a little bit more biased than than other people, right? He's not only really good friends with the writer and director, he's also in the movie. So, you know, I mean, there's that. Now, it says here, for so many of us, Luke is the epitome of a hero. He is what we strive to be. He's also our access point to a world we love. We got to know Star Wars through his eyes of this character. And now, after all this time, we finally get to see him again. And he sort of sucks as a person. He's disrespecting everything the Jedi is supposed to stand for. Ultimately, it feels like he's disrespecting us. Or, as some fans concluded, this isn't the real Luke Skywalker, but rather a bastardization perpetrated by bad storytelling or corporate interests. Or the fact, and I just want to put this out there, or the fact that Mark Hamill has said in an interview that it wasn't like he was playing Luke Skywalker, it's like he was playing Luke's brother, Jake Skywalker. Okay, but you can already see here that, like, he's trying to spin it. You can already see that spin. He's like, well, people out there don't like Luke's portrayal in the movie, but they're saying that it's some corporate interest or bad storytelling. No, it is bad storytelling. It is bad storytelling. There's no other way around it. You can't sit there and tell me that, like, again, I'm going to go back to the Canto Bight scene. Why wasn't DJ a prisoner on the ship? Why wasn't he someone who Kelly Marie Tran tried, Rose's character had zapped with trying to escape on an escape pod, and that's how they, you know, they work with him in order to then go over and deactivate the thing on the dreadnought, right? Like the shield thing. Why don't they go do that? Like, why? That would have been a far more interesting thing, because it would have, for one, tied into Rose's actions as trying to stop potential deserters. Right. And it would have also given DJ, a bit more of a character arc, and they could have maybe brought in a new cool character that apparently is going to be coming back, apparently. Right. Somehow DJ is going to show up again. Why? Why? Makes no sense. At this point, everything about this is just, again, it's bad storytelling. Bad storytelling. But Joseph Gordon-Levitt, you're just like, I'm defending my friend. And I get that. I do. But let's continue before I continue tearing apart everything you have to say. Leaving Luke unchanged would have been a huge missed opportunity. Think about how rare this is. A trilogy of movies is made with a young protagonist played by an actor in his 20s. Then, no fewer than 40 years later, the actor gets to play the same character as an older man. I don't know how many times this has ever happened in the history of movies. Has it ever happened? No, there's characters that have come, people that have come back, obviously, but at the same time, I get what he's trying to say. It's like, if we left Luke unchanged over the course of 30 years, then it would have felt like just he's on another hero's journey. And I completely understand that. But as we learned from The Force Awakens, at least what was hinted at in The Force Awakens, is that Luke felt shameful over what happened with Kylo Ren. As we learned in this movie, yeah, we know why it happened, why he felt shameful. But ultimately, we thought, like, at least the way it was presented that I took it, was that Luke was trying to go into exile, to understand, to find a way to stop them, to, like, learn more about the Force, to become more in tune with the Force, and not just become a hermit who shut himself off from the Force completely in order to evade detection from Snoke. Again, there's whole other elements there that just were never connected that, you know, basic storytelling would have found a way to connect it, unless you're setting it up for the third movie, which ultimately I think they're going to retcon most of this stuff. I think they're really going to do that. No one is a perfect hero or a perfect villain. We're more complicated than that. Every one of us, flawless characters feel thin, and forgive me if I blaspheme, but the young Luke Skywalker always did feel a little light to me, which is why it was so cool this time around to see him fill out into a more imperfect human being. Okay, look, Luke was on a hero's journey, obviously. A young 19-year-old farmhand from Tatooine discovers that he is the son of the biggest, baddest, blackest mofo in the galaxy, and goes on an intergalactic journey to restore balance to the Force, as ultimately is the prophecy, because the prophecy was talked about in The Phantom Menace, but it wasn't really necessarily... well, maybe Anakin did by killing the Emperor. That restored balance to the Force ultimately, but he had to go through it to get there. And then we got this epic adventure with Luke's character, and Luke did grow along the way. Right? Luke wasn't the same character that he, at the end of Return of the Jedi, that he was at the beginning of A New Hope. And what Joseph Gordon-Levitt here is potentially trying to say is that that's just not the case, right? Like, oh no, Luke was the same character. And as for the same character coming back nearly 40 years later, let's not forget Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, or Harrison Ford as Deckard. We're talking in the 30-year range there, right? And technically, 2019 apparently is going to have, or 2020 is going to have the 5th Indiana Jones movie or something in there. The point I'm trying to get to here is that ultimately, you know, Luke was not the same character. He wasn't. Luke's character in The Last Jedi was such a huge, crazy, insane departure from where we left him, with no basis for how he got there, right? Now with Obi-Wan and at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and where he was, you know, in the beginning of A New Hope, makes more sense as a whole, simply because he's going into exile, and he's going to be, you know, very much in tune with the Force, very much aligned with those ideals, and he's there obviously to keep an eye on Luke. So we understand that. Here Luke just ran and hid, and then somehow drew a map to where he was that he gave to one buddy, and then like gave an incomplete map to the Resistance. Like, it just, I mean, again, very poor storytelling in both films, both Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi had the ability to kind of retcon poor storytelling from Force Awakens, when in fact it did the opposite of that. And that's ultimately what I want to say about that. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I get what he's saying. He's very much trying to defend his buddy. He's very much trying to, you know, look after, you know, to look after his buddy. And I respect that. I do respect that. But just the basic critical breakdown of just core plot elements with these characters and what happens, it just dissolves his argument entirely. Sorry, I did rant on a lot about that one, didn't I? Oh my God. How did the guy playing Han Solo in the Solo movie get cast if he was so bad? It was between Alden Ehrenreich and Ansel Elgort. Two names and you don't want to say 5 times fast. They were the two. Ansel ended up becoming Baby Driver. And at first I thought Alden was going to be better because I really liked him in Hail Caesar. But then I saw Baby Driver and I'm like, that guy should have been Solo. That guy. So no, Dick, he's not the same character 30 years later. He's not the same character at all. No, I disagree with that entirely. If I'm seeing this, you want me to dab on them haters, or I can't do it, man. I can't do it. So I don't know. I think I could have written a better Last Jedi, to be honest. I do. But all right, so let's jump over here because this is what I'm interested in quite a bit. Steven Spielberg's next movies could be Indiana Jones 5 and a West Side Story remake. Only one of those movies I care about. And it seriously is not West Side Story. Like, look. Don't get me wrong. I love me some West Side Story. I love me some Romeo and Juliet. It's the same story, just different settings. Okay, I'm fine with that. But Spielberg needs to go do Indiana Jones 5 before Harrison Ford dies. 2 plane crashes and doors on the Millennium Falcon crushing his leg. Which, from my understanding from a source I have, told me that that particular incident with Harrison Ford on the Millennium Falcon while shooting The Force Awakens could have, if J.J. Abrams not acted as he did and pulled him back, could have ultimately decapitated Harrison Ford. If Harrison Ford is like a cat, he is seriously running out of lives. So it says here that Spielberg has remained a force in the film industry for over 40 years now, and the legendary director is showing no signs of slowing down, and I'm okay with that. His movies, as of late, I believe have been hit and miss, but he's definitely tackling projects he wants to. Where's the sequel to Tintin, though? It's been 6 years. Where is the sequel to Tintin? There was a trilogy, Spielberg. There was a trilogy. Fresh off directing the acclaimed Oscar contender The Post and wrapping up production on sci-fi blockbuster Ready Player One, Spielberg is looking to get back into the director's chair. The next episode, or the next projects he reportedly wants to direct, the 5th Indiana Jones and a remake of the classic West Side Story. So, but I don't care about West Side Story at all. I just don't. Meanwhile, the state of Indiana Jones sequel remains in question since the tepid reception of 2008's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But when Disney purchased Lucasfilm in 2012, the action franchise came along as a package deal. Spielberg has reportedly been considering Jurassic World star Chris Pratt to star alongside Harrison Ford in the 5th movie about the archaeological action hero. Disney hired David Koepp to pen the script, with the release date set for 2020, but since Spielberg works at his own pace, it's uncertain whether that date is set in stone. Couple things with that. One, why did they hire David Koepp? David Koepp wrote Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, granted, it was based on a George Lucas story, but Lucas, I do believe, is better as a producer than he is a writer. The guy is a good world creator, and I get what he was trying to do. And I love Spielberg's response to the criticisms of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull by saying, well, I just made the movie my friend George wanted to make. Which is true. But I think when you get to the part with the monkeys, you have to stop and look at George and go, really? Is this where you want to go? I mean, I understand that Indiana Jones was inspired by a 1930s radio serial, right? And I understand that playing in the realm of being in the 50s and those kind of things and the serials and all that stuff, you want to play on the Tarzan trope. I get that. It's not above me, right? Like, it didn't fly over my head. I caught the reference right away, but still, it made no sense to have Shia LaBeouf swinging on vines through the jungles of Peru with a bunch of capuchin monkeys in tow, then using it as a way to attack the freaking Russians. I can defend almost anything in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Literally, I will defend it till I am blue in the face, because I do actually really enjoy that movie. Outside of the goddamn monkeys. That is it. I'm not even kidding you. Outside of the monkeys, that is legitimately it. I can't defend it. But David Koepp also wrote War of the Worlds. And he wrote, I think he wrote the screenplay for Jurassic Park. So the dude's done a lot of good work. But when he comes into family stuff, and if you look, he came from a very broken home. This actually was said at a panel for War of the Worlds, I think like the VFX of War of the Worlds at Comic-Con back in 2005, I think. 2005, 2006. I know they had a panel on it. It was really weird. But they had a panel on it, and one of the guys there said that David Koepp wrote the screenplay and that he bases a lot of his writing off of his own personal life. So the story of War of the Worlds, of the single father struggling with his children, move that over to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and all of a sudden, you know, Indiana Jones is trying to work on this relationship with this child that he just discovered that he has. Go back and look at Jurassic Park and the story of the grandkids, not how, you know, and they go to the whole father figure thing with Dr. Grant. Look at, I think, Hook even. I think Koepp wrote Hook too. Hook had a lot of those elements at play. This is the type of thing the guy does. And ultimately, looking at the idea here for if he's writing the screenplay, then what you've got is you've got a situation where this is going to be the same trope over and over and over again, as evidenced by his career. And I don't want that. If they want to replace Shia LaBeouf with Chris Pratt and make that the new Mutt Williams or whatever his name is, I'm on board. I am on board. Or if they want to treat it like it's the young Indiana Jones franchise and have it start with old Indiana telling another story from 1930s Germany, right? Where he's doing all that stuff again, or he's taking on, whatever, like the old young Indiana Jones series, which was surprisingly great for the 1990s. I'm on board with that too. I think Chris Pratt would be the person to take over the role of Indiana Jones. Chris Pratt is not only age appropriate. Harrison Ford was 38 when Raiders of the Lost Ark came out. So Chris Pratt's getting around that same age would be the right time to start going down this new franchise path, and also making him younger and setting it in that time period. Because keep in mind, it goes back ultimately to the 1930s and 40s, those serials, those adventures, everything else. And that would be really cool to see. But at the same time, Spielberg works at his own pace, But Harrison Ford and the rest of us aren't getting any younger. Oh, man. Shia, who's going to hand it off to Shia? His career is not over. Shia is not over. Shia is not, I don't think Shia is going to do big budget movies anymore. I think Shia is just going to do the lower budget independent stuff, which he's actually pretty good in that world. I would argue that one of his best roles is Fury, the tank movie from 2014. Solid film. So why not a new adventure series? Let Indiana Jones retire and create something new. Gonko, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't disagree with you. At the same time, I don't want there to be, I want, I just want more Indiana Jones. But I have 4 movies, 3.5 maybe to some extent, but I like it. All right. Let's see here. Hold on. Where is there a typo? I saw someone say there's a typo. Do a film version of Fate of Atlantis. That'd be pretty cool. I'd be okay with that. Okay, so all right, let's jump over here to okay, before we jump into this one, I want to point out and say that I actually have to give Rian Johnson some credit here. Right? I have to give Rian Johnson credit here because there's been one big part of Star Wars: The Last Jedi that a lot of people didn't really care for, and that would be the whole Force projection thing, right? What ultimately killed Luke Skywalker at the end of the movie was obviously I said in a rant the other day, Force exhaustion, but ultimately he trolled everyone with this, and I have to give him credit because I think that it is ultimately funny and well played. So here we got Rian Johnson on Twitter just this morning, showing a picture of what looks to be his library. It comes across the Book of the Sith, the Jedi Path. Okay, so clearly some Star Wars stuff. Opens up the Book of the Jedi Path, turns over to Advanced Force Techniques. Okay. All right. What's it here? It says Doppelganger or Simulfurturus permits a Jedi to create a short-lived duplicate of himself or herself or an external object that is visually indistinguishable from the real item. To those who have perfected this ability, can create phantoms of any person of their choosing or trick an enemy into seeing objects such as droids that are actually present. And then back into the woods he goes. So this is how he's choosing to explain the Force projection or the doppelganger, the Force doppelganger. Now, it's interesting that he chose to kind of point this one out. And I find it to be funny that this is, clearly meant to kind of pull back on everyone or point at everyone that is upset about this. But at the same time, and this again is just my criticism of the overall portion of the film, this is a clear staple of Rian Johnson's ability to tell stories. It's more of a tell, don't show situation. And when it comes to this sort of thing, you don't want that. You don't want there to be a tell, not a show. You want there to be a show, not a tell. And so it's not like we all sit here and have a copy of Star Wars The Jedi Path and then knew about the advanced Force techniques and then talked about this. There should have been a reference to this of sort that would have explained this down the road. Very similar to the end of Revenge of the Sith. When Yoda and Obi-Wan are talking and he says, Obi-Wan, I have one last mission or one last training for you, and talks about the Force Ghost. And as it was learned by someone long ago, right, or Qui-Gon was learning it a long time ago, it then opens up like, oh, well, we see more Qui-Gon, and oh, that's where he learned to do that, right? Again, it took like 20 some odd years ultimately to get to that point, to telling people how it came to be, but they still told you about it. Now, if somewhere down the road, and if in episode 9, I wouldn't be surprised they actually do start talking more about the abilities of Force users and what they're able to do. Because when Luke asked Rey in the movie what it was that she, what she thinks about the Force, and she's like, oh, you can like move stuff with your mind and stuff, and he's like, oh, everything you say is wrong. But that, of course, is coming off of the Legends aspect of it, where this is the legends, the stories of Luke Skywalker and Force abilities, which is what Han Solo had explained to them on the Millennium Falcon, saying it's all real, which is what prompted Rey to try it with the Daniel Craig at part of Force Awakens. That was actually Daniel Craig that was in the Stormtrooper outfit and everything else. So ultimately, at that point, by paying attention to the dialogue, we get to see that storyline relatively extrapolated. That didn't happen here, right? Same with Leia using Force abilities in the way that she did, right? It was, again, a situation of like, oh, we're meant to know that these things are in existence when ultimately they were never shown to us. And that is my biggest problem with this one. So while I do appreciate that Rian Johnson is trolling people very well, I also look at this and realize it's just another form of bad storytelling, because all it would have taken ultimately is 1-2 lines of dialogue in the movie, right? Something that would have said, oh, Luke trained me a bit. If someone would have asked Leia, because no one asked Leia, how did you do that? Right? No one asked Leia, how did you learn to do that? She could have just said, I've got some training from my brother, right? Or I did this thing. I took a weekend Jedi training course, on Dagobah after we destroyed our father, that sort of thing. That would have been a plot device that would have been able to explain a lot of this away. Was never there. Which, given everything else that happened in that movie, it's just, it all keeps falling into place. Bad storytelling. So, no, the DCV Titan, he says like all the stories, all the legends, all of it's real. Right? Because that's when she says, like, they say when they meet Han Solo, they say all that little bit about like, oh, you're Han Solo, the smuggler, the general, the war hero, right? Like all of these things, all of the legends aspect of it over the course of 30 years. That's what it was. So they already had a functioning knowledge of the past. They'd known about the past. They knew the story of Skywalker. They knew the story of Solo and Leia and all the rebels and everything else. And then he says it's all true, which would then prompt her at that point to go, wait, if that's all true, then this might be true, and then to give it a shot. Whereas this, on the other hand, was never explained. So, Shinogo, I see your question. I'm going to get to it later, so you can stop spamming it in the chat, please. Oh, man. Yeah. So, okay, let's jump over here because I've been up for a while. I want to try to get through the next couple stories. Disney has released the first official synopsis for Infinity War. Now, a couple of days ago, they released the first official synopsis of Solo, Star Wars story, and it was more or less just like a one-sentence breakdown of what it is. But let's see what they say here. So, Infinity War is an unprecedented cinematic journey 10 years in the making and spanning the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel Studios' Avengers Infinity War brings to the screen the ultimate, deadliest showdown of all time. The Avengers and their superhero allies must be willing to sacrifice it all in an attempt to defeat the power of Thanos before his blitz of devastation and ruin puts an end to the universe. So, that's the plot outline for Avengers Infinity War, which obviously, just from looking at it as a whole, more or less says, yeah, man. Like I said earlier, when it comes to the whole situation with attendance and everything else, these are the types of movies people are wanting to go see in the theaters now. The small avant-garde independent film is not doing well in theaters, and some outside of specialty theaters with specialty directors for the most part, outside of New York and LA. But here you've got this huge, you know, what's the budget on this? I mean, the Avengers 3 and 4, the budget's been rumored at $1 billion. Obviously, this is going to gross a lot of money. And so, you know, 10 years in the making, clearly, they're going to be, it's going to be the ultimate deadliest showdown of all time. Now, the deadliest part there, I'm really wondering. I'm wondering who is going to die, because we know contracts are up, right? We know that many of the contracts are up after the 4th film, and they're probably going to, and they're, you know, with the inclusion of Fox. And I'm wondering while they were making this movie, how much of it they were already aware of the talks of the deal with Fox. Right. I am really wondering, like, while they were shooting Avengers 4 and prepping for that thing, were they going to start, you know, killing off characters there because they knew what they were going to be getting? I don't know. But the only thing I don't like, and I just have to nitpick this again from a storytelling perspective. They say here that they must be willing to sacrifice it all in an attempt to defeat the power of Thanos before his blitz of devastation and ruin puts an end to the universe. It's been 10 years. It's been, what, 6 years since we first got our introduction of Thanos. And ultimately, he's only been on the screen for like 2 minutes or whatever. A very little amount of time Thanos has been in it. And we're meant to care that this is an incoming threat, an impending doom. You know, I mean, look at Game of Thrones. Okay, it's been on for, 2011 to now, coming into its final season next year, you bastards. And it's been teasing since the beginning, winter is coming, winter is coming, winter is coming. We've known of the impending threat. We've seen little tidbits of what it can do, of what it can bring. And now that it's here, it's finally going to kick some serious ass. Thanos has been like in the background, maybe pulling some strings here and there, but they realized that they weren't able to fit him in well enough. Hence why they said that the Infinity Gauntlet that was in Asgard, fake, right? Which is why Hela pushes it over in Ragnarok, which is one of the reasons why at the end of, I forget which movie it was, Thanos takes the Infinity Gauntlet for himself, clearly showing that there was another one. And so it's like we haven't really seen his character do anything that would make us fear him as a whole. So I'm hoping this movie will go a little bit further and decide to make it a thing. But I don't know. I'm hoping that it does. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. Hold on. You say if they can't explain the story within the movie, then the movie will suck. Refer to Bright. Nah, Bright was good, man. So Thanos is no longer a cuck who just wants to impress a female personification of death. I have heard that they are looking to cast Death, which would be interesting. Which, when they officially bring Deadpool over into the universe, they got to make that a thing. If it's not too late. So, so there's that, yeah. What are my thoughts on the Rampage trailer? I liked it a lot. I like that. And also Mundane Matt and Chill. Goddamn right. Okay, so let's see. We've been up for about an hour. Do you guys want me to do trailer reactions? Because like I got a couple trailers I could pop in real quick, and we could watch those and react to those real quick. Let's do that because I wanna check this out. So first up, we got the Super Troopers 2 trailer. Oh shit! Let me just get my headphones here so it doesn't blow out. I want to do this stuff because I think, again, I mentioned this at the beginning, I've been getting asked to do trailer reactions, and I figure if I do it live, it'd be a lot more fun than anything else. So let me just... Alright. Okay. Well, let's hope that the sound isn't too bad. I'm probably going to lower that a little bit here, just because I don't want it to be too loud on there. Okay. Okay, sorry. This is more of a test in progress and everything else. But I haven't seen the Super Troopers 2 trailer, so we'll do that.
1, 2, 3, let's do it.
They've been waiting for a second chance. waiting for their country to need them again. That time is meow.
What do you guys give me if I kill that bird? Barbara, that's a bald eagle. Get away, Baldy! Yeah! Guys, what do I win? A one-way ticket to hell.
Turns out the French-Canadian town, Saint-Georges-du-Laurent, is actually on American soil. You'll be phasing out a Canadian Mountie unit.
Best behavior, boys.
Not our idea of a good time either, fellas. Personally, I'd rather fuck a moose.
You would need a ladder to do that. Wow.
Let's give a big Canadian welcome to the Vermont Highway Patrol.
Come on, guys. They've come up here to tell us how great it's going to be for all of us to become Americans.
Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
This is happening.
Est-ce que vous savez à quelle vitesse vous allez?
Do neither of you speak English?
I do. We would like to eat your papers.
Can you show me your party papers?
This time everything will be by the book. Everything.
What the fuck are you guys doing? Hey, Tim, Horton's ghost.
What can I get for you guys? Cold beer? Liter of cola?
What did you say?
Do you want a liter of cola?
Canada's pretty awesome.
Should I shoot him? Who? Papa?
Frère Jacques Grey pour Paul Marquis de Saturette. Vous faites un docteur Croissant, les misérables, Fort Catcher, Luke Robert, D'Artagnan, Perrier, Friend Tarkin, Ton Pinot, Poster Parker. Eau de toilette. Eau de boudadin.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that yet. That's too goddamn funny. That is too. You guys don't understand. I saw Super Troopers like when it came out in 2001. You know, like so it's a long time in the making. I think that's I think that was pretty goddamn fucking funny. Pretty goddamn fucking funny. I am very much. Where's the? They bring that up. I just man, that to me was hysterical. Because yeah, I mean clearly they're gonna play back on the tropes or on the little jokes, obviously from the first movie. So clearly the meow, clearly the liter of cola, which I thought was great. Because there's people over the years, like when I worked at movie theaters, that would come in and try to pull the whole Farva liter of cola thing, which was always fun to shoot them down because it's really easy to do. Arguably, all you have to do, okay. So a liter is like 33.8 fluid ounces, right? So someone would come into my theater and they'd be like, I want a liter of cola, you know, and they would like try to like do it demeaningly to my snack bar workers. And so I'd walk over and I'm like, oh, you want a medium? A medium is 32 ounces. And I basically would explain to them the whole thing and therefore completely kill the joke. Because unless you're Farva doing it, no, fuck you. But yeah, no, they're clearly pulling off from that. They've got all the characters are back. I find it to be an interesting story now that they're incorporating part of this other city into America. So they got to work with the Mounties there. And then also Linda Carter makes an appearance. That's cool that she's coming back in. Rob Lowe popping in. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm wondering how many other cameos we're going to see. I'm also wondering if the kids from the first movie are going to make an appearance. And I wonder if the sheriff or the police are going to make their way back in from the first movie as well. So I really, really, really like Super Troopers. I think it's one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen. And this one looks hysterical to me. Can't wait to watch it. All right, where's this next one here? Okay. And it comes out on Hitler's birthday. Oh, okay. Chelsea, how they equal death in the MCU. That's an interesting story. I never thought of it like that, Chelsea. Good job. Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on, Max? I'm doing a live show. It's towards the end right now. I'm just gonna do one more trailer reaction to the Tomb Raider. Now, this is a movie that I'm really excited to see. I've always enjoyed the Tomb Raider franchise. I even enjoyed the first two Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie. I felt that they were a lot of fun. The first one is clearly better than the second one, but the second one wasn't bad. And I've been waiting for them to reboot it, especially since Crystal Dynamics rebooted the game series back in 2013, and both Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider were very well-crafted stories. I really want to see how they're going to take the storyline from the first movie, or first game, and tie it into this particular movie. I mean, obviously, it's going to be it's going to be a thing. Let's see here.
I thought I saw Dad again. I think I'm going mad.
Laura, your father's gone. At some point, we have to face up to who we are, who we're meant to be.
I think I know where my dad went.
That's right in the middle of the Devil's Sea.
It'll be an adventure.
Death is not an adventure.
All right, looking pretty good so far.
What are you doing here, Laura? 7 years I've been on this island. Your father, he put me here. Now I see the likeness, intelligence, the recklessness.
What do you know about my father?
Laura, there was more to my life than boardrooms and business deals. There's an organization called Trinity. It's looking to start a global genocide.
Your dad sure you had a bigger holiday.
He had a knack for the unexpected.
You must stop them, Laura. Promise me.
Really?
Ladies first.
Open the tube!
Put it down!
It's your finger that's pulling this trigger.
You messed with the wrong family.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I actually really like that, because they're pulling heavily from the trailer, or from the game. A lot of stuff there from the game. I mean, clearly there's been some stuff there too that's been altered and that's been changed in order to the overall story of Trinity. But Trinity's still the bad guy. She's still got the freaking the climbing hook. She's got the bow and arrow. She's got the same outfit on. When she grabs the parachute and she falls, that's straight from the game. Her hitting the trees from the game. Her hitting everything's pretty much from the game. They've done a fair amount to stay true. To stay true to the whole thing. I'm actually super excited. When does this come out? This comes out March, right? March when? March 16th. Okay, so it comes out right before my birthday. Awesome. Awesome. I'm looking forward to this one. Because the thing is, I've been playing Tomb Raider since the 1990s, right? I've been playing it since the first game came out. I do very much like the franchise. I did like the other, as I said, I like the other movies. And I just really, I don't know. I'm actually 100% on board for this movie. I hope to God it doesn't suck. It's entirely possible that it will, but they are making it rated R, I think. Or at least it's going to be a hard PG-13, which I can live with. And if they handle the story of Himiko correctly, and they handle the whole thing correctly, and they don't go too over the top with it like they did maybe with the Cradle of Life, then I think we're going to be onto something pretty good here. But ultimately, yeah, man, I'm stoked for this one. All right. Stop recording. I've been recording since we started, so I'll answer some questions. If you guys got any quick questions, we'll do about another 10 minutes. I got to wrap it up and go take care of the baby. Yeah, Max, we definitely need a good video game movie. Casual Cali, I have not seen, unfortunately, whatever the other one was called, that one movie, Assassin's Creed. I haven't watched it yet, and I should watch it. I just haven't gone around to it, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt as a result of that. But ultimately, I don't know. I haven't bought it yet. I'll buy movies on Black Friday or something, and then never just actually watch them. Okay, I'm just checking my email real quick. All right, we're good there. Cool. So, am I excited for the Dune movie? I am, yeah. Yeah, top movies I'm looking forward to this year. Tomb Raider, clearly. Super Troopers 2, clearly. Avengers. I really want to see Aquaman. I didn't think I was going to like Jason Momoa in the role, but I am. Deadpool 2, obviously. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic about Solo. Like, I'm still going to go see it. Is that new Super Mario Brothers movie, is that coming out this year? The best video game movie was Silent Hill, not Part 2. Dude, Silent Hill was fucking dope, man. I can't believe that movie is almost 12 years old. I never saw the second one with freaking Kit Harington in it, but I did really like the first Silent Hill quite a bit. So, hey, Chad, thanks for... Oh, I'm glad you liked the show, man. Thank you very much. How is Maddie? She's asleep right now, so that's good. I can get this work done and everything else, which I like. The best part about like doing the live stream is I can do the show and you guys watch it, and then I can snip it out and I can put it out there, and people seem to like the format, so I'm totally on board with that. I'm very happy with the way at the type of response that so far the show has gotten, and I do want to make it. I don't know if I can do 5 days a week with it. I'd like to do 5 days a week. It'd keep me on a schedule, but that's hard to do sometimes. So tentatively, because there's not going to be good movie news all the time, so some will be shorter, some will be longer, obviously, but it allows me to get my work done, because okay, part of my 2018 goal is to spend a lot of time. I don't know if it will happen, but I would love to get 3 Book Theater up to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2018. Now, I've got almost 17,000 right now, so I still have a long way to go. But I would say 100,000 would be a good goal, because I want to get another plaque. I've got a plaque up there. No, oh yeah, I've totally forgot about Black Panther. Yeah, I want to see Black Panther, obviously. When are we going to stream about Fast and Furious goodness together? What do you want to stream about? Like, you want to geek out about Fast and Furious for a couple hours? I'd be okay with that. So yeah, no, Daniel, the trailer dropped. It dropped randomly. It dropped randomly. I'll probably end up doing a little thing for that, a little lead in for it before I post the video. Oh, I forgot about Predator. Oh, dude. Fuck yeah. Predator. I'm calling it right now. Shane Black written and directed Predator movie. #1 movie of the year. I'm calling it right now. #1, probably like in the top 5. If not #1, the top 5. Predator is going to be fucking sick. Fucking sick. Cannot wait for Predator. It's going to be badass. Oh, I can't wait for that. I'm a huge Shane Black fan. And I just can't wait to see what he's going to do with it. Alita Battle Angel. I'll definitely be checking that one out. What about Tom Holland as Nathan Drake? Yeah, no, Tom Holland as Nathan Drake would be pretty cool. Because what it is, I think Tom Holland grew up playing Uncharted, and I think then when Sony was like, hey, we really want to keep you in the Sony family, they're like, what do you want? And he's all like, I want to play Nathan Drake, please. And they're like, sold, son, we'll give you a trilogy. So always be in the business of trusting Shane Black, damn straight, man. That's the whole thing with that too, is trash Star Wars more. So the thing is, Fragger, I don't want to always trash Star Wars, man. I don't. Like, I legitimately don't. I am just frustrated at the Last Jedi, and like I've been called a sellout, like, or a traitor or whatever, because I'm all like, there's parts I really dislike about it, but I'm not as like frothing at the mouth about it as other people. But yeah, that's the thing. You need baby vlogs. Yeah, I need to work on those. Not much is going on right now. She's sleeping most of the time. Like, she's passed out right now. So, so Tom going to work if they're going to go the young Drake route? Yeah, probably. Just get CGI Harrison Ford to play Nathan Drake on it. I would be okay with that one. If people really want to see Matt rage against Star Wars, you can tell he's holding it in. It's not that I'm holding it in. It's that I don't want to be associated with that. I have complaints, and I am very vocal about those complaints, and I will continuously be vocal about those complaints. But at the same time, I'm just looking at it like, look, man, You know, I just want it to be, better. You know? So, there's that. So anyway, I should probably wrap this thing up so I can rest my voice for a few, take care of the baby, and then also do my other videos for the day. So I still got the Monday Matt content coming out. I got to do this content. I won't be streaming again until Monday, but I'll probably be segmenting out these videos, and then those will be released. So if you guys are already here, you've already seen it, but if you haven't or you want to come back watch it again, that's a way to do it too. And also, if you guys haven't, there's that. Oh, the background. Real quick, yeah. So the background the background cost me $68, and it was through Shutterfly. I'm gonna get another one made. It's actually, believe it or not, it's a shower curtain. It's a shower curtain that I took my thumbnail logo and my thumbnail design, and I made that the shower curtain. And there was a 40% off coupon through Shutterfly, and I got that because otherwise it was like $80. I'm gonna have another one made. I'm gonna have an artist friend of mine actually design a better one that has the logo and has like my info on it. That's a bit more like, I guess you could say professional. However, this looks amazing to me. Like, I think it looks utterly amazing and I love it. But I have to have the light down there, which I'm probably going to make that more of a blue light. So it's not too distracting, but I like the light so it differentiates me from the backdrop and everything else. So how much would movie theater attendance go up if everyone had a movie pass? Well, if everyone had a movie pass would probably fail out, you know. But Cinemark or Century, whatever, one of the two, is doing an $8.99 a month similar setup where you get one free movie ticket a month and you get like discount on concessions. So my girlfriend might do that for when we want to go, because she wants to start doing more, getting back out there, because she's been home with the baby too, so she wants to get out there and go on date nights and stuff. So so yeah, it's what is it? Hold on. How about that? How about a Sabine movie? That girl that plays her is on Ted Danson show and is legit funny. Sabine, what are you talking about, Sabine? Are you talking like Kristen Bell or what? I don't know. I mean, I think you're talking about the Good Place, which is a really good show. So it's fun listening to people rant about Star Wars. It is. And I've been featured in many videos, people talking about like because my video got pretty big. Anyway, so here's the thing. Well, I really need to go rest my voice for a few. I'm going to be posting the link to the Discord. If you want to jump in on the Discord, then you guys can, I'm posting that right now in the, oh, God damn it. Okay, so it's not working. Hold on, let me get the Discord link setting. Okay. Apparently it's not working. I wasn't trying to post in the Discord. Get everyone to, if you guys want to come in there and chit chat. Oh my God, what the fuck's not working? Okay, what do I think of Pacific Rim? I don't quite know. Oh, here we go. There's the link to the Discord. Oh, Sabine from Rebels. Do you mean Kristen Bell, or do you mean the chick who plays Tahani? Yeah, anyway, there's the Discord link. You guys want to jump in the Discord and chit chat, I'll be in there. There's the $3 Theater subreddit or sub server where we can talk movies or whatever, or just come in for the general stuff. What do I think of Philip DeFranco? I like Phil quite a bit. I very much appreciate his dedication to what he does. My only real complaint is that his editing just gets under my nerves. And the reason why he does that is because he doesn't ever allow you time to process what is being said. So while I personally am a talker and can talk at great lengths for a long period of time, as evidenced by the last hour plus, I've been talking almost nonstop. Clearly, you know, there's things there. So anyway, so yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys again very much for coming on in, and we'll be back on Monday with another episode of 3